My name is Michelle McKellop with the City of Santa Ana Public Works. You have joined the virtual community meeting for updates on the City of Santa Ana trash contract and residential customer impacts. Today is Thursday, August 5th, and we'll be starting the meeting in a few minutes at 6 p.m. If you joined the meeting via your Zoom link, please go to the bottom of your Zoom screen where you'll see the different buttons for chat, raise your hand, and to the far right is the interpretation button. Please select that interpretation button and select either English or Spanish. We're speaking in English, but if a question is asked in Spanish, it'll be translated to you in English. So please, everyone, if you're viewing via the Zoom link, please click on the interpretation button and either select English or Spanish. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions during the meeting, and if you want, we can unmute you for your question to ask during the presentation. And we appreciate you just standing by. We'll be starting the meeting shortly. Thank you. We have 11 neighbors that have joined us, and we're so grateful that you joined us tonight. We will be starting the meeting and presentation in just a few minutes, so we appreciate your patience. And we have a few others that are joining us right now. We'll start the meeting in 1 minute. Thank you again for your patience. And if you did just join us via the Zoom link, if you go to the bottom of your Zoom screen and locate the interpretation button, it's to the far right of the bottom of your screen, to the right of the raise the hand, and either select English or Spanish for your language for the meeting. So if someone asks a question in Spanish, it'll be translated to you in English. Again, good evening and welcome to the virtual community meeting on updates for the City of Santa Ana trash contract and residential customer impacts. We appreciate making time in your busy schedule to attend the meeting tonight, so thank you so much. Again, my name is Michelle McKellop with the City of Santa Ana Public Works. And before we start the presentation, Alyssa from our Neighborhood Initiative team will review the ways you can participate and ask questions during the meeting. Alyssa?
Hi, everyone. So we do have Spanish interpretation available tonight, but we also ask that everyone actually selects a language. So if everyone can select the globe on your screen, someone mentioned that it might be on the right-hand corner or upper right-hand corner, or in the lower, bottom page corner of your screen. Select the globe and then select either English or Spanish. And we do have Spanish interpretation available tonight. Sí tenemos interpretación en español disponible. Por favor, seleccione el globo y seleccione español. And there are a couple of ways for you to participate tonight. We will be monitoring the chat and the Q&A box, as well as people that are raising their hands. So if you have a question that you want to ask, raise your hand, and during the presentation, we'll pause and we'll go through questions, and we'll unmute you so you can ask your question. Or you can also type it in the Q&A box or in the chat box. For those of you that are just dialing in, not using the Zoom app, dial *9 to raise your hand, and then dial *6 to unmute yourself during the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa. This is Michelle McAuliffe again. We want you to know that your questions and your comments about the trash contract are very important to us. This meeting is all about you and providing you information on the trash contract. And we welcome your questions and comments, so please share your thoughts with us tonight. We have a number of city staff participating in the meeting tonight that I will introduce to you now. City staff, please wave when I call your name. From our Neighborhood Initiative team, Alyssa Ventura, Margarita Macedonio. I saw Margarita earlier, okay. And from the Public Works Agency, Christy Kendi, our Enterprise Manager for the Solid Waste Program, and our Executive Director, Nabil Saba. And also with us tonight, our professional Spanish translator, Jesus Villasenor Jr. Jesus, I don't know if you're out there, but thank you for being with us tonight. And now our Public Works Executive Director, Nabil Saba, will share the details on the trash contract review with us. Nabil?
Thank you, Michelle. My name is Nabil Saba. I am the Director of Public Works Agency. And with me in my office is Christy Kendek, our projects manager and enterprise manager too. She will be helping me with my presentation. I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy to see you here and for you to be here with us. Tonight, I'm going to give you a short presentation on the solid waste contract for our residential customers. Next. I just want to go over the timeline of our activities in regards to the solid waste. In June 22, 2021, we held a work study session with council, and right now we are holding meetings such this one with you, the residents and council, to give you updates and briefings on where we at with the contract and the request for proposal. On June 2021, we held a public hearing and adopted a resolution of intent to grant solid waste franchise to any one of the 4 proposals that we received. We received 4 proposals, and we'll go over that in a minute. On August 17, coming up, we will be holding a public hearing and to adopt a resolution to grant solid waste franchise and agreement to one of the 4 proposals, and to authorize us as staff to proceed with Proposition 218 process. And I will touch on that. On July 1, 2022, almost 1 year from today, the new service under a new contract will begin. Next, please. Just to make you familiar with the methods of how solid waste is collected. The card is what we show here. It varies in size from 35 gallons to 96 gallons. A bin, it looks like what we have in the picture, and that the size vary for that from 1 cubic yard to 6. And we also use roll-off boxes, and those come in many sizes depending on the hauler, and they can range from 10 yards to 40 yards. I'm sure you've seen those somewhere around the city. Next, please. The RFP, which really stands for the request for proposal, during that RFP process, the city asked for key services from the haulers. We asked for a 3-cart automated residential collection service, which is the one that you are typically receiving right now, or similar to it, which includes refuse, recycling, and organics. We also requested a senior and a mobile home low generator discount, a walkout service for the disabled residents at no charge. We also asked for our residential customer to be able to recycle their holiday tree. So we asked for that program. And we requested that the hauler provide us with on-call bulky item collection, up to 4 pickups per year, up to 4 items each pickup, which means if you live in a house, you will be able to call the hauler 4 times a year to pick up 4 bulky items each time. 16 basically pieces of furniture, mattresses, whatever you are disposing of. Those service available to you at no charge. We also requested an on-call universal waste collection program. For residential customers, we requested that the hauler provide an oil filter collection program and a temporary refuse bin service and Sharps mailback collection program. Next, please. For a multi-family units, which is a little bit different, of course, than the residential units, those are the apartments and the condominiums. We asked for a bin collection service, source separated recyclables and organic collection service, temporary bin service, permanent and temporary roll-off box service. We also asked them to propose an on-call bulky item collection program, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We also requested that if multi-family bin customers have a holiday tree collection program. Next, please. For the community, we asked for 300 roll-off boxes per year for neighborhood cleanups. And we also requested an annual household hazardous waste drop-off event, annual shredding event, annual compost giveaway event or events, environmental ambassador program, 1 full-time recycling coordinator, and addition contribution of funds to our Santa Ana Green quarterly newsletter. Next, please. Some of the terms of the contract. The contract will be for 10 years, starting July 1, 2022, and we will have an option to renew for 5 years extra or addition to the first 10, and then up to, after the 15-year possible life of the contract, we are also having an option to extend for about 36 months after that. So it's a lengthy program, lengthy contract, but for a reason. It's because it's huge, and it's a huge investment for the hauler. We also, in the contract, we requested a minimum recycling requirement. We requested that all carts be clean, new, and compliant with SB 1383. All route collection vehicles shall be model year 2021 or later, meaning new equipment, new trucks. And we also requested that an education and outreach program be implemented. So we will be able to reach out to our residents to educate them about trash collection, recycling, and how to be environmentally conscientious. Next, please. The rates that were proposed by the haulers are adjustable, and they are adjustable every year and based on an index. Basically, those rates will be adjusted in conjunction or equal to what the consumer price index is. The service will be adjusted based on the consumer price index. The fuel component will be adjusted based on the producer price index, and also the same rate can be adjusted based on the County of Orange landfill system tonnage gate rates. Other services will also be adjusted in similar fashion based on set indices. Next, please. Same thing. The roll-off boxes rates will also be adjusted based on consumer price indices, and the other services that we've asked for can be adjusted based on similar indices. Next, please. Like I mentioned, there was 4 proposals received by the city, and we received for Athens Services, Republic, Waste Management, and CR&R. And for the residential rates, these are the proposed rates, and they would be effective on July 1, 2022. For Athens Services, the proposed rate is $17.55. For Republic is $22.94. Waste Management, almost the same, $22.95. For CR&R, the proposed rate is $23.71. The data is ranked from low to high. Right now, residential customers pay $22.57. So as you can see, the pricing is pretty tight, very equal to what we are receiving right now. And these pricing are based on a level of service that's equal to 1 refuse cart once a week, 1 recycling cart once a week, and 1 organic cart once a week. Next, please. Like I mentioned, these rates will be adjusted annually based on the consumer price index and something else. We, as a staff, we asked for clean city initiatives, and I'll describe what those are in a minute. Those initiatives cost little money, so there will be adjustment in the pricing, proposed pricing in the first 1 to 3 years. And like you see here in the chart, Athens Services starts at $17.55 in year 1 and ends by year 5, or starts at year 5 at $20.35. CR&R starts at $23.71, and in year 5 will be, start of year 5 will be $27.23. Republic $22.95. It will increase over the 5 years to $26.70. Waste Management starts at $22.95, and in year 5 it will be $26.89. Again, there are some assumptions. We're assuming that the CPI will be 2.5%. So next, please. There is, like I mentioned, there is increases, and for the Clean City initiatives, there was a cost to that. So Athens, CR&R, Republic, and Waste Management, they all proposed variation of how they would like to increase the cost or the pricing based on their implementation of these programs. Like you see here, Athens proposed to increase their pricing by 4% in the beginning of the second year, and then 0.99%, in the beginning of the third year. CR&R 2.05, and then followed by 2.05%. Republic 1%, followed by 2.25, followed by another 2.25, Waste management 2%, followed by 4.2%. Those are the increases for the clean city initiatives. Next, please. This slide shows the total increases that were proposed or assumed in this case over a 5-year period. Next, please. I'm going to go over some examples of other services. This one here is the 3 cubic yard temporary bin. The cost for that from Athens, is $95. CR&R $101. Waste management $131.23. Republic Services $151.76. The data is ranked from low to high. Right now, if you were to call for a 3 cubic yard temporary bin, you would be paying about $97.50. And that does not include disposal cost. Next. For multi-family residential service, that is equal to the following: a 3-yard refuse bin twice a week, 3-yard recycling bin once a week, 1 organic cart once per week. Is as such. Republic Services proposed $562.31. CR&R proposed $575.62. Athens Services $597.21. Waste Management $630.69. Right now, a multi-family residential service similar to what we have here pay $448.64. Next. Roll-off boxes, the proposed rates from CR&R is, and that's assuming 4 ton, up to 4 tons of waste in a roll-off box. It doesn't matter what the size is. So CR&R is $496.62. Waste Management $552. Athens Services $575. Republic Services is $667.88. Right now, a customer that orders a roll-off bin pays $584.31. Next. A 3 cubic yard temporary bin for mixed construction and demolition waste. Athens proposed $95, Waste Management $125, CR&R $175, Republic Services $175. Right now, a customer for that type of service pays $145.21. Next. Now, the first year rate revenue to the proposer. So, when these haulers come in and do business with Santa Ana, this is the revenue, this is the assumed revenue that they will be receiving. Athens will be taking in $57 million, Republic Services $59 million, CR&R $59 million, Waste Management $59 million. Now, this is very close, and we are happy to see this tight separation between the 4 haulers. It's really telling us that we had a great RFP, request for proposals, and that all 4 proposals are anxious and wanting to do business with Santa Ana, and they are very competitive, and they have sharpened their pencils, I can tell you that. Next, please. Over 10-year period, of course, you multiply those revenue numbers by 10. Athens will bring in $676 million. CR&R will be bringing in $690 million. Republic $694. Waste Management $702 million assumed. So, and again, if you look at the percentage separation between all 4 is less than 4%, which is fantastic. Again, next, please. We did ask that they provide us with new equipment, environmentally compliant equipment, and they all did. The hauling trucks will be model 2022. They're all new, and CNG, or compressed natural gas. or renewable natural gas. The carts will be new, the bins will be new, except for waste management. Their bins will continue to be the same because they're doing business in Santa Ana anyway. So next, please. We did a reference check on their performance with other cities. Athens Services ranked 4.1 out of 5. CR&R ranked 3.8. Waste Management was 3.6, and the Public Services ranked or scored 2.9. Next, please. I promised that I would talk about the bulky item pickup, and I want to hand that over to Christy Kindick to go over that with you.
Okay, so I'll scooch up a little bit. Hopefully you can hear me a little better. So the bulky item pickup, this discussion is for multifamily, because we found that the biggest challenge with some of the illegal dumping is that multifamily locations don't get the free bulky item service. It has to be paid for, and sometimes people don't want to pay for it. So what happens is those items get abandoned in an alley or in the public right of way. So in order to help out with that, we asked each hauler to propose something that some type of program that would work for multifamily. So Athens has, they have provided 10 free bulky item pickups per quarter per dwelling unit. So that means that any dwelling unit could have up to 40 items disposed of each year. And then there is a cost for items that exceed that. For CR&R, they have 4 bulky item pickups per year per multifamily unit, which is up to 4 items, which really mimics the curbside residential program. And their property manager will have the option of on-call scheduling, dedicated collection days, or a move-in, move-out coordination. Republic Services was a little bit different, where they offered 10 free bulky items picked up per quarter per dwelling unit. And then Waste Management was offering unlimited bulky item pickup to multifamily properties through on-call scheduling or designated collection days, which would mean that, or they can schedule by request. So that's the bulky item pickup. Next. Did you want me to do this, or do you want
you can go ahead.
Okay, so the Clean City Initiatives is something we are very, very excited to talk about. This is something that the mayor pro tem, and council members asked staff to look into through the city manager and the executive management team. So all the proposers were very receptive and wanted to participate in this. It provides serious right-of-way cleaning. And the program was developed by staff and then refined with the assistance of our solid waste consultant. These programs target the heavily traveled locations, industrial and business districts, and hotspots. We really are focusing on cleaning up as much as we can in Santa Ana. So the service locations can and will vary over time, because what may need additional attention right now may be just fine in 3 or 4 years, and we'll have to focus on other places. So that is a very fluid program. Most of the programs are 6-day-a-week services. So there is something happening out there pretty much every day of the week. It's quite wonderful. The proposers responded. They'll all be able to provide the services. And because they're such significant services, they won't all start on day 1 of the program, but they will start and be implemented over a period of 24 months. Next. So these are the service enhancements. The first is site-specific litter cleaning and bulky item removal. That means that they have people in the city that are looking for this stuff. They report it, or they'll take reports from the city, and they will go out there and pick those things up and take care of those litter issues. The right-of-way trash container service is kind of exciting. That's 250 public trash containers that will be serviced, cleaned, emptied each week. And those can be in specific locations, hotspots, and those might even vary over time. We have a work order app integration. Most people know about My Santa Ana. They will be receiving work orders through My Santa Ana. They will handle them and report right out through My Santa Ana. So all of that will be contained and tracked. There'll be sidewalk litter and debris cleaning services on the hardscape. We'll also have sidewalk power washing, and that will be in different areas that are identified by city staff. We have porter service where there might be areas where we need some attention to furniture located in the right of way, but this is all cleaning. So it's all cleaning related. Now, then there'll also be a component in the contract that provides for washing and sanitizing of all bins. So those are the larger bins that service multifamily or industrial that upon request, once a year, they can get their bins cleaned for free. And then we have a clean business initiative, which will be working with local businesses to see if we can't help them, offer them some things that might help keep their areas clean outside their business. So it's a great program. Next. You want to talk about this?
Sure. Council action, we went through the June 23rd. We are right now in the period between June 23rd and August 16th. We're reaching out to you and to the council members for any questions and updates. On July 20th, we did issue a resolution of intent, and our plan is to take this item to our city council again on August 17th to hold a public hearing and basically award the contract to one of those 4 haulers that we have listed. And next, I think that concludes our presentation. We're open for questions or anything
Yes.
you may have.
Nabil and Christy, we received great questions from Larry Klein. And Larry's questions, there's a few of them. So I'll read them and then I can go through each one. First question is, how does Athens Services consistently bid the lowest prices? For example, are their employees non-union, whereas the other waste hauler employees are union workers? Do their employees get the same benefits? Are their services less reliable than that of the other bidders? So first question from Larry is, how does Athens Services consistently bid the lowest prices? For example, are their employees non-union, whereas the other employ only union workers? Do
So
their employees get
can
the
we take
same
that?
benefits?
Can we take that one little piece at a time?
Yes, absolutely.
You want me to answer some
Go
of it?
ahead,
Okay.
sure.
So the first question, how do they submit lower bids each and every time? We don't understand their operations or their cost of services, so we can't speak to that. For the second question, I think that is you asked if they're union or non-union. They are a non-union shop. What was the next question you asked?
Do their employees get the same benefits?
We don't know for sure if they get the same benefits. We do know that they are competitive with their hourly wage.
Mhm. And are their services less reliable than that of the other bidders?
So based on our customer satisfaction, we would answer no to that because they got the highest ranking.
And Larry has another great question. Are the rates for seniors available under the current contract with Waste Management?
The senior rate discount is based on a senior or mobile home discount that is a lesser amount of service. It requires, I think you have to be a certain age for the senior discount. There can only be 2 people in the house and they have to be the smallest carts or the second smallest carts, the middle size. So there's a limited amount of service and requirements, and there is an application that can be filled out. It can be reached through the utility billing group
Okay,
at City Hall.
thank you, Christy, because the second part of that question was, how does one request it? And you answered that, so thank you. We have another question from an anonymous attendee. I just want to share that we have, I think, 25 attendees tonight, so thank you for joining us. The anonymous attendee asked, how will you promote and educate residents about these enhanced services to ensure that residents take full advantage of this initiative? Good question.
Yes, it's a great question. So I just want you to know that we will have a tremendous education and outreach program in advance of rolling out the program. So we will do similar presentations like we're doing right now. We'll meet with neighborhood associations to demonstrate the program and tell them what to do. In addition, we should have a starter kit attached to the new carts as they are rolled out and delivered to the residents. We are going to educate, and we will be available for any questions.
We just received a great question from Desi Reyes. What is their hazardous waste proposal for commercial properties? For example, for condos that have fluorescent light bulbs, would there be a charge as it currently is for each individual unit?
Okay, so this agreement covers solid waste, not hazardous waste, except in the exception that we have a hazardous waste drop-off event once a year. That's free to the resident. It doesn't matter whether you are in the multifamily or curbside. You can take that one day a year at a site and dispose of it. But there's also year-round access at the County of Orange household hazardous waste collection facilities. The two that are closest to the city of Santa Ana are in Irvine and in Huntington Beach. And residents can go and drop off household hazardous waste items Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 3, except rainy days and holidays. And it's at no charge. You just have to let them know what city you're from, and it can't be any business waste.
Okay, thank you, Christy.
Michelle, we have, I think Desi Reyes probably wants to add to his question.
Would Desiree like us to unmute?
Desi?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, guys. So here's what I've been experiencing currently. I'm the president of a homeowners association in Morrison Park. It's called Westwood Condos. And in our parking stalls, we have fluorescent lights. So the way the process works now, if we want to get rid of those fluorescent lights, even if I take him to the disposable centers here in Irvine, they won't take them. And then I have to go to I don't know where they told me to go, and they have to pay for it.
Yes.
Very expensive.
Mhm.
You can imagine how many light bulbs you have to replace each year.
So
For residential services, that's a free service, but not for condominium units. I mean, so, and the condominium units are owned by residents, and they won't take them. It's really difficult to get rid of those things.
okay, so what I want to do is clarify.
Okay.
It is available to all residents. So if your condo or apartment dweller takes those from their location, from their unit, and they take them to the HHW centers, they absolutely will accept them. If you take a business vehicle full of all of the light bulbs that you just changed throughout that unit, that is the cost of doing business. They look at it differently, and that's why. But it is available for each individual resident to take anything from their unit to those locations at no cost.
But as a condominium complex, they only have one address. And one for example, a condominium complex has 56 units, but it's only one address. So they're looking at it as a commercial property.
So they don't look at an address at all. When you go there, you tell them you're a resident of the city of Santa Ana. You don't have to provide an address.
Okay, I wasn't, I had to leave, but and then here's another issue I'm having at that same complex. Recently with wave management, I'm the president of the board, so they've been lately in December, they missed picking up a lot of the recycling bins. I understand they were having issues with COVID. A lot of their staff members were getting sick and they were having issues. But when you miss picking up recycling, which is once a week, get on the phone, call. I have to spend hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours just to get him out there again. And for example, our pickup was on Thursday for the recyclable. They missed it. Call Friday, call Saturday. They will say, oh yeah, we're going to pick it up tomorrow. We have a ticket for that. It wouldn't be till like Monday or Tuesday of next week that they would pick it up. So that was, and it's really, it stopped after December. And then also recently I've been getting a lot of charges for overflowing, which is not even overflowing. The lid is just open a little bit. and they charge us for that too. So I've been fighting this, and I'm getting the credits back, but it's just the amount of time that I have to spend on the phone with them. And finally today I met with one of the reps at our site, and he agreed that, you know, I showed him the pictures because they send you the pictures, the videos, what they look like.
Mhm.
Goes, yeah, no, this is, I wouldn't consider this. I mean, your complex has never had any issues with your complex, but you get the overcharge. In the operations department, somebody's looking at it and it says it's overcharged and it's $48. And what's the other one? And then there's a
Can I
water.
answer those? I'm gonna forget them. Can I
Okay,
speak to the first one? So the first one, when you talked about the missed recycling, I will tell you that there was a nationwide shortage. It wasn't just impacting waste management, it was impacting all the haulers, all the truckers everywhere. So they're rescheduling and trying to get back. They were borrowing drivers from areas that weren't having as many COVID impacts. They were shifting drivers all over the nation to make sure that they could do as much as they could. And unfortunately, it was the best that they could do. So they did come back. They did collect all of the recycling and solid waste, but you're right, it was inconvenient. And I apologize for that, but I just don't know how they could have done it because they had a shortage of drivers.
No, I understand that, but
Okay,
you know,
I did want to at least speak to that
Yeah.
because it was just a bad time and it was very tough.
yeah, I understand that, but it happened again last week. They missed it
So-
on Thursday, and I call Friday, Saturday. Oh, somebody's going to go. Well, they didn't show up till Monday at 6:30. So you
I
just
will-
you can imagine how, you know, I have to go there every day.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm interrupting, but I think maybe Desi, since your situation, like it's recurring, perhaps connecting you with Christy directly.
Definitely.
Let's do that. And we can do that offline. I can do that, like, you know, that way I'm just observing Michelle that we have a
No,
number
I'm
of,
glad about that, but I'm just telling you
But also,
the service level that I'm, you know, I have to spend 1-2 hours on the phone with these people. And then somebody's supposed to get back to me, the route manager, nobody gets back to me. It's, you know, and like I said, I met with somebody yesterday and he was very nice, finally,
Good.
from my request from back in July. And I understand COVID was here and all that kind of stuff. And then the other thing, we have I just wanted to tell you what's going on. Corner Waterstone Apartments is right behind north of us. So their system is picking up overflowed bins in those apartments and charging us because they think they belong to us because they're what do you call it? They're so close to each other, they think is our unit. So that's another charge that I have to call. And I mean, we got 2 charges last month already, and I have to fight that all the time. But
Okay.
they're getting back to me, you know, they're being responsive, but that's what's happening to that service level at this point.
so I want to speak to both of those issues. So the first one is you said there's recurring missing stuff happening now. I will tell you, they are having another issue with COVID drivers locally, okay? So unfortunately, they're doing their best. They're trying to get drivers in and out and servicing, but right now they are having another issue. Now, the next item though that you're talking about where they're charging you for somebody else's overflowing bins, it's because their snapshot program utilizes GPS. And if your
Correct.
GPS shows up at their bins, that can be modified. We just have to work together, you and I and the operations people, and we can get that corrected.
Absolutely, and I think I have it corrected because I worked on it. So, and like I said, I met a rep there yesterday, and we got it taken care of. But it's just when you get on the phone with some of these guys, they argue with you that no, it's my complex, and it's just because they're looking at it in a computer, a map, and it's so close. It's just frustrating.
Well, Desi, anytime you have service issues, if you're frustrated, you can call me.
All right.
I'm the person to get in the middle and get things resolved. I just want you to know that.
Okay.
And
That's good.
Margarita will give you my contact information, okay?
Terrific. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Thank you, Desi. We do have a comment in the chat from Dale Helvig. His comment is, Los Angeles rates doubled when they implemented their new system a few years ago, which included new trucks as well. Well, I didn't see the rates double. I did notice you said residential rates are $22.57 per month. Mine is currently $56.72.
In LA, that's what he's paying as a residential service.
Dale, are you available to unmute?
We should be paying
For 2 months. So,
Go ahead, Dale.
okay, so, I want to say that every city handles their solid waste contracts different.
Hey, I was able to unmute.
Hi
I
Dale,
can
how are
clarify
you?
That's my Santa Ana rate right now.
I'm
That's what
sorry.
I'm paying. My Santa Ana rate is $56.72 a month.
So Dale,
That's bi-monthly.
yes, it's 2 months billing at a time.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
true.
really,
That's true. Hey, good point.
yeah, but it's not 56.72. And if you want, you can always contact me and we can discuss that because it should be 22.57 a month times 2. So it should be 45.14. Anything else that is added to that 56.72 is not solid waste related, but I can help you with that.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
but did you have another question?
Well,
Oh, wait,
I did
you
have
did. You did.
the other part of the question was who's actually paying for these new trucks? Because that's why Los Angeles rates doubled is because I think they went with CR&R or Athens. I'm not sure who their contracts were, and they regionalized it and everything else. But I know the rates doubled to pay for these new trucks up there. So who's paying for the trucks?
So in LA, I know they changed all of their processes and they divvied up the county within a number of different haulers. And so there are different rates all over that county. Santa Ana is a city. It's a large city. It's a city that haulers want to provide service for. They were very competitive in their proposals. So they set the rates. We're very fortunate. We added clean city initiatives. We have clean new trucks, new carts, and still we're in a really good place. And I think it's because we are a coveted size city and they want to be here. So they sharpen their pencils.
And the trucks will be paid by the vendor or the hauler.
Yes, exactly. It's all within everything that you saw that they would get in that $57 to $59 million range is going to provide all of those things.
Okay, that's good to know because I didn't want to have you guys approve this and all of a sudden we get this bill that says, well, we're going to have for the first 5 years this higher rate to pay for all these new trucks. So good to know that you've covered that. So
that's included.
Yeah, we structured the agreement to include everything that we've asked for.
okay, thank you.
Dale, thank you. Christy, thank you. We have a number of great questions from Jay Kubit, and I'm going to read one at a time for you, Christy and Nabil, so you can answer each one individually. First question from Jay is, why the requirement for 2021 vehicles? Won't the cost of that be based on subsequent yearly increases?
So those vehicles are required because we have a 10-year contract minimum. We wanted to make sure that we had new clean technology so that we have vehicles that are in really good shape through the life of the contract and even into the extension period. So there will be no special rate increases at all for those vehicles.
Thank you, Christy.
You bet.
Next question from Jay. What will be the mechanism for complaints on vendor? Waste management is terrible currently.
So what will happen is when there is a complaint, the first call is to the hauler to see if you can work it out with a hauler. And if there are problems that have not been resolved, I'll be the contact. I also have some assistance. So we'll handle that in-house if there becomes an issue between the customer and the hauler.
And Jay also has a comment and question. It appears the multifamily is getting charged much more than residential customers in order to keep residential services lower.
So if that is the case, what you need to understand is we decided what services we need They gave us the proposed rates. We have no involvement in setting of the rates.
And the next question from Jay is, what are the overfill charges for multifamily cubic yard bins?
I don't have them with me right now, but if if Jay wants to contact me, I can go through the material and let him know.
Okay. Thank you, Christy.
Mhm.
Jay will send you Christy's contact information here shortly. And we have another great question from Ali Martinez. She would love to get the information over to her HOA community. How will they make their, hold it, let's see, you just jumped here. Will the recording be available online? Yes. And when will the contracts be voted on?
Oh, no.
This is from Ali.
Oh, Ally,
When
right
will the
here.
contracts be voted on?
No, that's not it. So the
Ally at
contract
6
will be voted on August 17th. We're a little lost in
Wait, let
the
me see.
questions.
That's okay.
Just 1 second. Okay.
Okay, sorry, we're back on track. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. And then the next question is from Bridget Noonan. Who makes the decision? The city council? How will they make their decision? Are they looking for feedback from the residents?
Absolutely. The city council members, all seven of them will be making the decision, and they are looking for feedback from the community. That's why we're having these community meetings. And they are looking for your feedback. Absolutely. You could reach out to your elected in your ward and let them know what your priority is.
Okay. Thank you, Nabil. We have a comment question from an anonymous attendee that reads, I don't understand your consultant, HF&H, is allegedly competent, yet they don't know, nor has the city asked why the process proposed by Athens is so low. I thought your consultant was an accounting firm and validates the pricing for each firm. Please explain.
Go ahead. Well, let me see what the question again. They asked why the process.
It's from the
proposed by
anonymous
Athens is so
attendee.
low. Okay, well, like Christy mentioned, we did not set the rates. We described the type of service and level of service that we need in the Santa Ana, and they came, all four proposers came to us with pricing, understanding their business and our requirements, and every one of them set the rates. And why Athens is low is because Athens, maybe it's efficient. I don't know, but those are the rates. And like I mentioned, when we looked at these tables, the pricing and the value of the contract itself is very tight, 4% over 10 years, over millions of dollars. That is significant, which means to us, our RFP, request for proposal, and also our description of our services that we need were very clear and very concise, and therefore the pricing came so tight.
Right.
And we are again proud of that, because in the industry, even HF&H has not seen pricing so tight like we have in Santa Ana.
I also want to add something, that our contract provides protection against extraordinary increases. So if Athens comes back and says, wow, we really can't do it for this price, that's too bad. They're obligated to do it for that price.
Thank you. I just want to go back to Jay. Jay actually had the earlier questions. He had like 4 of them, and Jay's available to unmute himself to add to his thoughts on those questions. Jay, have you unmuted yourself?
Yes, I did unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So I really asked those questions kind of as right before Desi Reyes started to make his comments, but I am the president of the Homeowners Association as well here. We, like him, have about 290 units. And I just really wanted to echo his concerns and all of his comments that he made in dealing with waste management. They have been an absolute nightmare to deal with. from an association standpoint. We spend hours upon hours upon hours dealing with their bogus overfill charges that we get. Like he was alluding to. We have skipped trash pickups that happen around here. And then what happens, we have 6 different bin locations within our community. They come through here and they then charge us because we have overflowing bins, which is a no-brainer because you guys missed the last trash pickup. Their customer service is a horrendous joke. We've spent the better part of calling and escalating to supervisors and multiple people there on multiple occasions, trying to get replacement bins from them because the bottoms of their bins were rotting out and spilling all over the ground and leaking everywhere.
So I am really sorry that you've had that experience, and I wish that you and I had spoken sooner. So I would like to speak with you and see if we can't work on whatever service issues remain to get you back on track.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, I feel like lately with them, it's just become a real nickel and dime situation with the overfill. I mean, it's just like Desi stated. We have pictures upon pictures upon pictures showing the bin open and showing no trash in that bin above the level of the lid. Our bins don't have lids on them, but there's no trash even above where the lid would be if there were one.
Well, and they're
I mean,
supposed
it's
to provide
6
you with a photo each time for each chart.
Right.
So,
and they do, but like he said, it's hours upon hours upon hours of our time that we have to spend dealing with their customer service to get charges reversed.
well,
It lately has almost become a full-time job for somebody just to deal with their crappy overcharges, to be honest.
and that shouldn't happen. And maybe it's a driver education issue. Maybe we need to say, this is not an overfill. You need to, take another look, and this is how it should be. And that's not a problem. So we can do that, especially reach out to those drivers that are doing your route. But
that's why, not to interrupt, sorry, but that's
okay.
why my earlier question was, what is the mechanism going to be for us going forward with a new contract? This really needs to be thought about and put into place of how we don't have to spend hours upon hours upon hours of our time dealing with stuff like that. Quite frankly, we're paying for a service and I shouldn't have to pay for it again, and another means of time wasted dealing with them. So I think there really needs to be some thought put into a liaison for us as associations that deal with this stuff on a reoccurring and ongoing basis of having a mechanism within the city to deal with this vendor, whoever it is going to be going forward. And quite frankly, to deal with waste management for the rest of their contract.
Again, I am your resource for anything that happens with waste management. And again, it is, if we need to work one-on-one at your site to make sure that your service is on track, we're going to do that.
Right. And as far as my comment earlier, I don't know if it came across correctly, but what I was alluding to is the fact that it appears that our service for multifamily, the increase is going to be about $100 a month, whereas it's very similarly priced for single family homeowners. So I was just making a comment that it does appear that multifamily is kind of paying the brunt of the contract staying the same for the single family, if that makes sense.
It does. It just wasn't. It is not our position to negotiate the rates. That's what was offered, and each one is different.
No, I understand, but yeah.
Yeah, as a city, we're not allowed to set rates.
Right. Okay.
But Jay, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Yeah, if you guys
really, you should have ongoing problems, and I can work with you and Waste Management on it.
Yeah, and I'll pass that along to, actually, Ali that asked questions earlier is our management company that's on here. So it would be good for them to have that information so we can all kind of coordinate. I know they probably have other associations here that are dealing with the same issue too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Jay.
Thank you.
And Allie Martinez, who you just mentioned earlier, Jay, she has additional comment that she would like to share with everyone that she'd like to add to Desi and also Jay's comments that Waste Management has missed several pickups at the HOA community that she manages as well, and has been charged for overflow several times when the trash level has gone to the top of the bin.
Again, I can help you work through those issues. So, you know, don't be shy, seriously. You can see my contact number in the notes, in the chat.
Thank you so
Thank-
much.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Christy.
Mhm.
And we have a comment, actually a question from another anonymous attendee. It says, Waste Management has been the city solid waste hauler for over 30 years. Has there ever been an audit or a formal review of their services, fees to the city or franchise requirements? So has there been a forensic audit or a formal review of their services or fees to the city or franchise requirements?
So we always, every year, as far as the rates that are charged, we do a review of the adjustment calculation. So what happens is Waste Management is the contractor. They take our rates, they do the increase calculation, they send it to me. I validate all the source documents. I do all of the calculations. I make sure that they're good, and I send the approval back for them to implement. That's done every single year. I want you to know that. So what was it, the other one?
They just wanted to know if there's been any, audit or formal review of the services or the fees to the city or the franchise requirements.
We haven't done a franchise fee audit. And I'm not clear on what is meant by a review of the services. The services are, they're laid out in the contract and they have the appropriate rates attached to them. So I'm not sure what that formal review of their services means. Can you clarify that?
I don't have the caller or the anonymous attendee available, but if they'd like to, unmute themselves, we can have them speak further on that, but possibly maybe what they're referencing is more audit of their customer service record or their customer service responses. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would do that.
Mhm. Okay.
I do
And-
get a list of customer complaints each month from Waste Management, from the customers that call in.
So-
It's part of their monthly report.
So I
Okay.
just, Michelle, I just wanted to let everyone know that Christy Kindig's contact information, including her email, are on the chat as she's mentioned. So even the anonymous attendee can follow up with Christy directly.
Exactly.
Thank you, Margarita. We have another comment from Desi. He just wants to share that it's a $48 charge for overflow every time.
That's currently,
Looks like.
I'm sorry, I just don't
Yes,
have my
can you,
rate
can you,
sheets in front of
can
me.
you hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
can't. Mhm.
So yeah, it's $48 for an overcharge. I'm looking at a bill right now. And, going, and again, they're charging these, I've noticed that more frequently when it's not even, it's just going slightly over the top. And somebody in their operations department somewhere looks at these pictures and makes a decision. It's not the actual driver. The driver just takes the picture and it goes to somebody in operational and they make the decision to chart, what's overflowing, what's not overflow. That's what I've learned from all these hours of hauling. And then the contamination fee is another one. I understand that what a contamination is, but a lot of times people put their plastic bags with the recyclables in the contamination in the recyclable bin, and plastic bags are not supposed to go in the bins. We put that out in the community and all that stuff, but people sometimes are reading it, but that seems to be charging a lot lately. They pick up on that, and I don't know if it's abusive or not, but it's happening.
I have not gotten other complaints regarding the contamination fee.
And
I
that's
am absolutely willing.
That's $54. That's $54, by the way.
Yes, we definitely do. And we have a contamination fee because we've been pushed by the state of California to have one. And frankly, with Senate Bill 1383, there will be enforcement coming. And so, we're the city and we're trying to implement what the state's telling us that we have to. And we're trying to do it in as friendly of a way and as easy of a way as we can with our customers. Because the very last thing we want to do is cause our customers any issues. That's why we have a subcontractor named Economics who goes out and works with customers to do free waste audits and recommend services so that they can make sure that they have the recycling and the organics collection service that's required by the state. We do try to make that process as easy as possible on them. They even train employees. They provide all kinds of information and they really work with the customer. So, we're put in the middle and we're forced to, I'm sure if you have a place that doesn't have organics or you don't have recycling, then your location is getting letters from me every year with guidance that we can have the subcontractor help you. But it's going to get to the point where it's going to be mandated that you will have something or you will get cited. And that is at the direction of the state. So not a direction we want to go to, but unfortunately we're getting pushed there.
Thank you, Christy. I understand your frustration.
Yeah, I'm so
Okay.
sorry because we
Thank you.
don't want to alienate our customers
No.
at all.
But I know who to contact now. You're going to hear from me.
That sounds good. That's good. I'm happy with that.
Thank you. Yeah, because we used to deal with Sylvia all the time. I don't know, remember her?
Sylvia at Waste Management.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh.
Okay.
But that was a person to go to. I just feel that obviously now I know who to go to, but it's like they don't have a rep out there. We don't know somebody to go to in person, because it's just getting on the phone. It's very frustrating.
I have some local people that can help. So don't you worry. I'll make sure that we get you to somebody who is,
Terrific. Thank you so much.
At least to get something cleaned up right now to move forward. Generally we want people to work with the customer service center. But when you need specific assistance to fix something that's broken, we're going to work to make that happen.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Desi, and thank you, Christy. So many great questions and comments tonight. Do we have any participants that would like to be unmuted to make additional questions or comments at this time?
Hi, this
Nabil,
is
Chris.
Jay.
Oh, Jay, please go ahead.
Yeah. Could you repeat because our treasurer actually dialed by phone, could you repeat the options for them to ask a question and unmute themselves? I know it was *6 and *9, but I forgot what is what.
Correct. If you're dialing in, just press 9 to raise your hand, and then we'll unmute you, and you'll just press 6 to speak.
Perfect.
So if your treasurer is on the phone line, just have him press 9 to
*9.
raise their hand. Yeah. *9 to raise their hand, and then dial *6 to unmute.
Okay. She is on, so hopefully she heard that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Any other questions or comments from our participants tonight?
Yeah, this is Dale Helvig again. I just wanted to thank you guys for all the work you're doing on this. Appreciate it. I know it's not an easy subject to go over because it does impact everybody in the city, and it's a very difficult task. And I just wanted to say thank you before I sign off because I got to run off to another meeting. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that nice
Thank you,
comment.
Dale.
Thank you. We welcome any other questions or comments.
Michelle, we
Jay-
do have the phone call. It might be the board member
Yes.
that Jay was referring to.
I think your treasurer's on, Jay, and they have their hand raised. If we can unmute them.
If they can press *6,
Mhm.
the number ending in 6232, so that you can be able to speak. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Leon Jacobs. I'm one of the board members. But I was thinking about the waste management as far as disposable toxic things that, yeah, you said that goes over to Huntington Beach or Irvine. So isn't there one in Anaheim?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, it's just not as close. It's just not as close.
So that's why I just wanted to clear that.
Oh, sure. As a matter of fact, just as a good resource, if you go to oclandfills.com, that website, if you click on hazardous waste, you can find a fact sheet. And that fact sheet includes it's in multiple languages, and it includes all of the locations, the items that are accepted, the hours they're open. It's a really handy resource. But I just want to, again, say that that's for residential waste only.
Right. That's on Blue Gum. Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
the Blue Gum Facilities
exactly.
does that, yes.
Exactly. Now, also remember, that's the county facility, and we will have one HHW drop-off event per year in the new contract. We're still hoping to have one next spring. We wanted to have one spring this year, but with COVID, nobody would allow us to cite it, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions or comments from our participants tonight?
Michelle, I'm going to go to the other caller. That might be the
Okay.
board member that Jay was referring to. So the caller.
Would you mind, Nancy, are you on the phone now?
It's
2872.
the last number is 2872. If you can press *6, Nancy, so that you can speak.
What's happening is I texted her and she's pushing it in the text message,
Oh,
not on the phone keypad.
okay. All right, so I'm just going to send her a message to unmute. Maybe she can respond to that.
Yeah, she dialed in just on the phone.
Okay.
While we're waiting for her to unmute, we received a chat from Larry just saying thank you to all of you for your presentation, which was chock full of information. Based on your presentation, what's to stop council from selecting Athens?
Council may choose whoever they choose to choose. That's not, it's up to them. They will make the best decision for our city.
Thank you, Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Is our caller available, Margarita? If you can hear us, just
Nancy, if you can press *6. Separate from your text message to Jay Cubic, that would help. Hopefully we can reach you.
We did also,
or else maybe I'm sorry, Michelle. Jay, if you know what the question is, or just if there's like an additional insight that you can share, since she's unable to unmute yourself.
I think pretty much what I said, she probably was going to echo the same thing. Just as the treasurer, she's the one that actually spends a enormous amount of time dealing with this. But I did have the contact information that I'm going to share with her to get her in touch with you. Yeah. And she's not one to really mince words either. She will probably tell you. There she is.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay, finally. Okay. All right. I'm the treasurer for Cabrillo Park HOA. I am the one actually spending all my free time dealing with waste management. It took me 8 months to get the bins are all rusted. It's been there 20 years. I think within 20 years, we only have one new bin replaced. I was pulling my hair out. You understand, we are volunteer. We don't get paid for what we do. And took me 8 months. Finally, we have replacement. Every time I call, email them, oh, you're on the list. We don't have anything available right now. 8 months, are you kidding me? Health department will come, and I told them, you guys gonna be in trouble because all the liquid during the summertime is cause health problem, and we cannot deal with this. Yeah, leaking trash, liquid stuff, and so all over the place, and we did our best. We have our contractor come and clean all the bins, power wash, chemical stuff like that, so desanitize. Those are extra expenses that we have. May and June, 2 months, I still have not had time to deal with them. Overcharge, and the bin, like Jay said, it's just flat on the top. Yes, they do have GPS, but they never tell me which bin number is the one they're actually going to charge me. I have to guess, which one is this? And the picture is not even clear. You try to get into reverse, what they charge me? No, charge us, no. No, that's impossible. And dealing with customer service is absolutely the worst. And if I had my power right now, I would tell them you are fired. This is so ridiculous. And then there's a broken wheels again. There's something wrong. Then when they bring the new bins, they gave me the wrong size. Oh, I do know what size we have. Small, large, you gave me 2 small ones. I mean, all this is ridiculous. So I'm so glad I finally be able to go through, and you can tell my voice. I'm very angry.
I'm really
And
sorry.
one time they didn't, this driver don't know how to open the trash enclosure. He left. He never come back over the weekend. It was Friday. And we have to hire another company come pick up all the trash. And I have the picture. They brought a big truck. They clean out the trash. And we didn't even know when they're coming back. Nobody calls. Yeah, nobody cares. I mean, you can talk to different people. Oh, no, you got to go to so-and-so. You're on the list. Why is that? I mean, I've been on the board over 20 years. And I never seen anything like that, COVID or not. This is no customer service. Like I said, please, Councilman, please fire this company.
So, obviously you've been through a lot of frustrating experiences, and I wish I'd known about these before, because I am the person that is going to help you work through some of these things. So I do want you to reach out to me, but I want to say, don't anybody reach out to me tomorrow, because City Hall is closed. I don't want to tell you all to call me and then you all call me tomorrow and we're not here. But I am here to help you work out these customer issues. So I just want to be your resource, and we'll work through it together and do the best we can.
Definitely. I'm so glad now we have a source. We know where we can go to. And I'm so glad this is happening, because I don't even know where to go. I'm just keep dealing with them, calling, email. Okay. And this is really a shame. But what I really like to do, Christy, is I like to get together, or however we can have a conference. I like to have Jay involved, our president, our manager, Allie, and I don't know, other association, our neighbors. We have several of them, and I'm sure they have the same issues. I do know next door, our neighbor also have the same problems.
Well, we can work through those problems.
Okay. I would have really, really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, would you, can you give us, we can contact you by email or some kind of
It's in the chat. If you look in the chat, my contact number is in there.
I have it, Nancy.
Oh, okay.
She dialed in, so she doesn't have.
Okay. So if you'll share that,
I have it.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy and Jay. We have a question, actually a nice comment from Javier. Javier says, good meeting. Talking about rates, cost savings, improvements, etc. That's all good. But what about the workers? Did the council tough about wages and benefits? Union workers make more than the non-union. Athens are not union?
Absolutely. Council did ask questions and we provided information about worker wages, workers' benefits, and union representation. You are correct. Two of them are union. I believe that Waste Management and Republic and possibly CR&R in some locations, they are union. Athens is not a union, but that really does not represent or it means that they get higher wages because we have seen that the average wage for Athens is higher than the union ones. But again, those information and that information was provided to City Council, and based on that, they will be making those decisions or the selection of the hauler.
Thank you, Javier, for that question. Thank you, Nabil. Are there any other questions or comments from our participants?
I just want
Nabil
to
or
say thank you
Christy?
guys for your time. I appreciate you guys having this for us.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Jay.
Michelle, I just wanted to add that I think, with the outreach that was done to get participation tonight at this virtual meeting, all of these insights and experiences have been really helpful. So this opportunity has helped to kind of re-educate on where, some of the challenges are, but even just who to talk to. And that's always a benefit through this process.
So true, Margarita. Thank you. Before we close, Christy or Nabil, do you have any additional comments that you want to share with the participants?
I just want to thank the team in Santa Ana here and also all the participants. We're happy to help you out. We are looking forward for a new contract to add the services that we were looking for. Like we mentioned, the Clean City initiatives is something that I know staff is excited about, and the council and executive management team is looking forward for. If you have any issues, please reach out to us. If you have any questions about the current or future contracts or haulers, please let us know. We're here to help you. Thank you, Christine.
No, I just have to say thank you for bringing up important things. And once again, I want to say I'm really sorry to hear that there are people experiencing some serious frustration. But I'm committed to make a situation work out and get it resolved. So yeah, thank you for being frank, and do contact me next week.
And we just want to thank everyone again for attending tonight's meeting. Have a great night and stay safe. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Thank you all.